Good evening, Crime Crunchies. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. I am your host, Courtney C., a 27-year veteran of the media, and I am so happy to be able to now bring you Crime Crunchies. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Thursday. I don't even know what day it is. Today's Thursday. For some reason, I thought it was Wednesday, but it's not. Tomorrow's Friday. Woo! I hope everybody is having a great week. I think I said that already, but stick around. I have 5 more free memberships to give away tonight. I love doing that because it's fun, right? It's fun. So we will do that at the end of the show, and I'm so excited. So tonight we are going to be diving into more of potential behind the scenes things, feelings, what could really be going on, the face that we give the public. Um, you know, Monks is the one who reminded me. Oops, you need me to turn my microphone? Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Maxie's saying that my microphone is down. Let me check my audio while I'm doing that. Monks reminded me that, Savannah is used to having a public persona, right? And we are feeling like we've seen a certain side of her for so long, and that we feel that we know her a bit, but we don't really know. And I've mentioned before that whoever has done this and taken Nancy has been ruthless, absolutely ruthless in all of the different ways that they have wounded Savannah. So we're going to take a look at that in a little bit more depth tonight. Okay. Um, I also want to make sure that everybody remembers. Let me get the mic closer to my mouth. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I want to make sure that everybody remembers, please tune in tomorrow night. I'm so excited. We have Thornbridge X Unfiltered on live with me tomorrow, Jen and Glenn. I'm so excited to welcome them to the show. I'm really reaching out and trying to do collabs with folks and, not just talk about Nancy Guthrie, but learn more about kind of how they got into all of this. So let me share my screen and let's go through a few thoughts that I had. And while I'm doing that, this is your chance to subscribe. We call ourselves the Cool Kids Club because we're cool. Most of us here are from the 1900s, and we like it that way, okay? We are used to driving horseless carriages. That's exactly right. Okay. So when we think about the recent letter or post that Savannah Guthrie put on Instagram, it had a little bit of a different feel to it. I mean, typically when she's posted, it has been just kind of in memory of her mother, or she posted recently a direct message to who we believe might be Porch Guy or the person who took Nancy. But this latest post, I feel like it's almost a roller coaster of emotions for Savannah. And hey, I can't blame her. She's been through it, okay? Respect, respect, respect. Can't believe that she's getting up and getting through the day. And we're all here ultimately because we want to stick around and we're waiting it out. We want Nancy to be found. We really, really want this mystery to be solved, okay? But yeah, her last letter sounded different. And the more I think about it, the more I think it feels desperate, but not in desperate that we have been, used to with her tone. Of course, she's desperate to find her mother. She's desperate to get her mother's remains back. She's desperate to find out what happened and be able to put her to rest and celebrate her life and all of those good things. Okay. But the desperation that I'm feeling here could be the cracks that Dr. Gary Burkado has talked about over the last week or two when he talks about the fact that there could be cracks going on between the writer of note 1 and note 2. But I feel like there's a crack happening with Savannah as well. And the desperation that I'm sensing is maybe part of the reason why these notes were sent to TMZ and KOLD and the TV station and things that we've talked about before, going out and being public, not just public in Tucson, but TMZ public in the world, and the whole globe is covering this. We've got people, on TIR last night I saw from Australia, I mean, all over the world. Okay. But desperation and the fact that, sometimes celebrities don't want their personal dirty little laundry aired. Okay. And it could be that the person who did this and took Nancy knew that that could be an Achilles heel to Savannah. Okay. And we're going to talk about all the different ways that this person really, really stuck it to Savannah. And when we look at the words in paragraph, I'm not going to read the whole thing again, but when we look at paragraph 3, it says, we are begging for help. We are desperate. We need someone to come forward. We need someone to know something. But then she says, we're real people facing real grief. But we also could be real people just like us, where we have family struggles and we have some maybe dysfunction in our families. But when we go to work and we're at that desk, we're smiles. We have this persona. We're perfect, right? We're perfect. And I think that in the business, especially the first person who commented that has the most likes here is Katie Couric. And in the business, where the last thing you need is for the world to find out that there is a crack going on somewhere underneath, behind closed doors, the last thing you really need is for all your little dirty secrets to come out. And some of the desperation I feel is Savannah really just wanting to just cover it up. Okay. And it got me to thinking about all the ways that this person has potentially hurt her. When we look at, of course, the note going to TMZ, there's no hiding this. Okay. If her mom was going to go missing, there wasn't going to be a world where Savannah was going to be able to keep this secret for long. Okay. Obviously, she wasn't going to be at work. And Today Show actually covered it that Monday morning. It was actually news release. Somehow they decided that they were going to put out that her mom was missing, and they probably thought that it was going to be something that they would be able to fix quickly. But before we know it, you get these ransom notes. And again, Dr. Gary Burkado has suggested that the ransom notes could have been written before, they could have been written even after Nancy was dead. We're not sure exactly when it was, but definitely part of the whole ploy, these ransom notes came into play. And with it going to TMZ, gives it that global, where if Savannah was very private and she, was just sweet as sugar and cotton candy on TV, there could be someone who knows that the worst thing that could ever happen to Savannah is for people to find out her personal business and have it come out in front of everyone in the entire world. And I do believe it was sent to KOLD. My own opinion is because she worked for the competitor Tucson TV station, and it could be that there was a big rivalry. Somebody with that insider knowledge is going to know that there was a rivalry potentially between the two stations. So having it go to the rival station, again, it's like someone going through your underwear drawer. These are violations, these are personal things. It's somebody who really knows all of the different facets and all the Achilles heels. But some other ways that this really hurt her that we've discussed before is the fact that she was getting ready to go to Italy and host the Olympics opening ceremony. And I've talked about this before, that if you're going to go open the Olympics ceremony, you've got a lot of studying to do. And again, with insider knowledge, you're memorizing, you have to identify the costumes even that people are wearing so that you could identify countries coming out, flags. You would have to potentially know the different sports that are going to be played in the Olympics, leaders, athletic leaders who are going to be uh, competing and favored to win. I mean, think about all of the different stats that you would have to memorize, because keep in mind, I mean, they might have producers to put this together, but if you're going to go host the Olympics, you need to know what you're talking about. This could have been, like I said, months of studying. I don't know if they put together a press kit or a binder with all of that information and actually pictures of the costumes or the uniforms people are going to be wearing. But I fully expect that with the Olympics, it is a big gig. It's a high paying, highly visible gig that you can't go and just phone it in. You have to know this stuff. And again, it probably was 2 months of memorizing everything that's going on in the Olympics, and the fact that this happened right before the Olympics and destroyed, you know, all of that, all of that work that she put in, preparing for the Olympics. The crisis, and I saw somebody posting something, her husband actually works in PR and does crisis management. And during one of the episodes that I hosted a little while ago, we actually looked at some of the Epstein connections, and really there was no connection other than the fact that there is somebody who had reached out to Jeffrey Epstein's people and recommended that he perhaps consider reaching out to the co-founder of the firm that Savannah's husband co-founded with the PR firm, and perhaps meet with the firm, have Jeffrey Epstein meet with this other person, not with Savannah's husband, but meet with the co-founder of the PR firm, and maybe get a consultation, considering all of the crisis work that he was probably dealing with at the time. And that's really the only connection that we have with Jeffrey Epstein. But her husband still supposedly owns this PR firm. And I've often wondered, who is advising? I've assumed that the FBI has been advising on the ransom, although Chris McDonough has made clear that they can't tell the family what to do, but they can advise them. And of course, I'm sure that they advise them not to pay the ransom. But I really feel like her husband has been advising her on the messages that she's putting out, and probably coordinated that awkward walk from the house with Tommaso and Annie, because there was probably some rumblings at that time. If you recall, it wasn't too much after Ashley Banfield had come out with the prime suspect being Tommaso. I think that things were getting away from them. And I really feel like her husband has been helping to advise on some of the PR things. And so I really think that he is the one who advised them to do that weird walk that didn't feel authentic at all. But I also feel like he has advised A&T on not making a statement, which honestly, in this case, I think that is the right move. I don't know. I don't know at this point it's going to help. If they want to come out after, hopefully, fingers crossed, a suspect is named. But I feel like if they wanted to put out a statement, I don't know that people are going to believe them, or people are going to then turn the statement into, yeah, right. You have to say something. So, I feel like it's a catch 22. They're in a catch 22. I do feel like this last post from Savannah was not a good idea. And I think that if her husband walked her through this, I think that it may have either fallen flat or actually worked against her, because the crack in the demeanor that I'm seeing as well is not just desperation, but there's a little bit of anger, a little bit of bitterness. And I saw that in her face during the Hoda interview when she started talking about the video coming out. Savannah said, I'm glad that the public could see what came to our doorstep, because in her mind, she's saying, look, that's not Tommaso. And I don't think Porch Guy is Tommaso. I mean, he's got that beard. His ski mask would be kind of like puffy down here, okay? I could see a little bit of anger when she said that. She's very defensive of her family. Now, whether they deserve it or not is a whole different thing, but I feel like she's showing anger in this as well. And it makes me think that when we go back to the walk coming out, people feel like it was staged. People on Legacy TV are saying it looks really staged. Okay. Is she watching this stuff, or does she have someone watching it and reporting it back to her? Because she specifically, in this next to last paragraph, definitely talking about the YouTubers. We need the good to be stronger than the evil. And again, last night we talked about the people who watch legacy media and the Today Show and pray, are the good people. And then us out here on YouTube talking about this and theorizing and asking questions and really holding the sheriff to task. I feel like we're the bad people. We're the evil people. People are making a profit. We're perpetuating the harm against her. But this is really an angry sense. I feel very defensive in the first two paragraphs, specifically because she's mentioning Annie and Tommy and Mike and me and Cam and Christine. We've got some defensive, all right? We're trying to, I used the words, put a Band-Aid on it last night. But then near the end is where the anger is coming out. She talked about her mother having a mischievous sense of humor. And even Monks in one of his episodes talked about mischievous. Does that mean that she's, kind of got a little edge to her? Could Nancy maybe get a little nasty? I don't know. We have no way of knowing. She always seemed to be, very pleasant, and she had friends, but the friends won't talk. Kathy Lee Gifford, and I wanted to find this video actually. I forgot to do that. Lee Gifford. Apparently, there's a video of her talking about the family asked her not to talk about it. I will find that and we'll look at that because I haven't watched that. Kathy Lee Gifford, Nancy Guthrie. Okay, so let me go back here and let me keep going. Okay. So, the defensiveness and the anger. And then, you know, again, the perfect example again is Katie Couric is the first person with the most likes liking this. She's got to put on this, you know, sweetest pie persona. And, you know, we've heard talk about the Today Show, about it being really cutthroat, and getting that, you know, that chair at that desk is really cutthroat. She worked with Matt Lauer, and Matt Lauer, you know, he went down. Nobody defended him, you know, nor should they, I guess. But if they knew, how do you know, not know that all this is going on? Does she know when to keep her mouth shut in order to save her job? Is it that ruthless that it's, you know, every man for themselves? And as long as Matt Lauer is in good graces, it's like everything is just turn the other cheek. I just feel like that whole situation's a little fake. Okay, does that make sense? Everything seems very surface level. Everything seems very outward facing, you know? The morning show. I only watched the first season of the morning show on Apple TV, but it was kind of like that, where everybody was kumbaya and fake and lovey-lovey. Oh, I love you. We're family. We're family. And in the meantime, everybody knew that there was a creep working with them. And it wasn't until the creep got caught and was fired, and there was no one left on the island with the creep. All right. Before that, everyone was like, I love the creep. I love the creep. And then when the creep gets caught, it's like, you're on your own, dude. I'm worried about myself. It just feels like, you know, after a volcano goes and the lava creeps over and then it hardens and you've got that crust, but you still have that heat, that lava flowing underneath. It just kind of feels like that, where stuff at the surface is not at all what's going on underneath. And I have to wonder if maybe we didn't see that, and we wouldn't have seen that. But if someone in the inner circle saw that, is this a way for someone in the inner circle who maybe genuinely feels like they were wronged, you know? They could honestly, again, if you're taking care of the mom, you're doing all the real work. You're doing all the real work. And you've got someone getting ready to go to the Olympics and getting ready to do Wordle, and oh my gosh, air kiss, air kiss. Oh, I love everyone. Aren't I cute? Look at me. Oh, I'm perfect. Look at my kids. Look at, you know, my husband, and look at this and everything. So, ooh. And oh, we have a wine club, and no, we're going to be skiing in Aspen. And, you know, yes, we're going to be going out to Martha's Vineyard for spring break with the kids. And yes, so and so has their yacht, and we are going to be spending a weekend on the yacht. And, you know, I've got all the invites to the wedding of Bezos. So, you know, and I'm just making all of this up. All right. But when you've got this whole life, when you've got this whole fiasco going on, and going back to the picture of Savannah with the guitar when she's a teenager, and Annie's doing the dishes, and you know, we all think that maybe A has anger issues. If she's speculating, I'm just theorizing, if A was behind this, she has the resentment, she has all of the retaliation, she's seething, she might have reason to feel that way. Now, would that mean that she could have or would have done, you know, along the lines of this theory? I have no idea. But what if this was, and honestly, even if she isn't behind this thing with Nancy, and they're completely innocent, What's to say that she doesn't feel like finally someone gets to see what I see behind the lipstick, behind the professional makeup and hair? Someone gets to see what I get to really see when no one's around and it's just us and there's no camera and it's just a facade. What if this second to last paragraph is really what Savannah is like? There could be a whole lot, the sky, what's up could be down. What's down could be up. It could be completely flip-flopped. We're looking at opposites last night. We're looking at, the inconsistencies in everything, the paradoxes of everything. And this could be a paradox that is slowly making itself visible. And then when we go back to how this person could have hurt Savannah in all those different ways, the memorial being out front, all the YouTubers, how do we know that an insider might know that Savannah just doesn't want to mix with the unwashed masses? Like it's just a term. She might not want to use in airports. She might want to go to the Delta Sky Club because she doesn't want to use bathrooms and stand in line with just regular folks. And they're all at Annie's, and you've got YouTubers now going back and forth anytime a law enforcement vehicle, sheriff vehicle, whatever, shows up at Annie's, everyone comes over to Annie's. Then they go back to Nancy's, and they're just going everywhere. And even after she went to the Airbnb in a gated community, even then she said they couldn't leave. They didn't leave. Why? No one saw her going in and out. No one saw her anywhere. Why? Other than the staged walk to the memorial that her husband probably thought was a good time or a good idea to show that the family is unified, and all these rumors of A&T by Ashley Banfield, her friend, okay? Why did she feel like she couldn't have people around her? Why can't she have people around her? She can't come out and talk in front of a microphone. Is it that she's snobby? I don't know. I'm just wondering. I'm not accusing. I have no idea. I'm probably completely out of place, but I would say if she can't come out and talk to people who were volunteering while she was in town, people were out, and it was still hot during the day in February with the sun beating down. It's still hot, 80s. That sun is very strong. Couldn't come out and just stand in front of the memorial with a microphone and say, hey, you guys, I just want to say thank you. I know you don't know me. I know you don't know my mother, but you've come out and you are literally walking in cactus. You're walking where there are scorpions. You're walking where there are snakes. You're walking where cactus can scratch you, whatever. You can trip and fall. Thank you. Her PR husband didn't tell her to do that. So does that tell us what the conversation is? Is the conversation with PR hubby, we have to fix our image? Is that what the focus is just our image? Because now I'm mentioning it, kind of actually feels more like they were more concerned with the image than thanking people, helping, encouraging people, or saying to people, please don't come out and search, leave it to law enforcement. I don't want anyone getting hurt. You know, I appreciate you volunteering to look for my mother. This means more to me than you know, but honestly, I would feel horrible if somebody got hurt. That sounds like a genuine message. Hey, Joe, the boss is here. It's Lisa. She's going to keep you guys in line. Okay. The boss is here. And I'm trying to get her message here. Hey, Eileen Kelly again. Yes, here's the boss, and she's going to be watching you, so you need to stay in line. Don't get out of line. Lisa's going to get you. All right. So anyway, I'm diving in. I'm trying to read between the lines. I'm sure I'm not right at all, okay? But I call myself an empath. And I don't know if I'm right. But it feels like this post is different. And it feels like peaks and valleys, you know, where we're desperate, we're loving, I miss my mother, we want to just put her to rest. Please tell us something. But hey, I don't want your kind of help, but I need your kind of help. And then, oh yeah, you people over here that are really praying and just not causing a fuss, we love you. You guys are good. But you over here, you're trash. And you guys are making money off of this, and that's tacky. Ew. That's tacky. All right, you guys over here, ew. All right. I also got thinking about, you know, that memorial. I was there May 4th, and the memorial was there. Fresh flowers were being brought. You could smell the flowers, you know, the next house over. They were so beautiful. They were yellow. They were fresh. I mean, really beautiful. There weren't any that were wilted, you know, no brown edges around the petals. They were just fragrant. It was beautiful. Absolutely. I'm so glad I got to see it. And it was just, wow, how touching. But it had to go, guys. It had to go. And, you know, we're just assuming that the bitchy neighbor, Karen, whatever her name, Sue Ellen, yeah, it's got to be her, right? She had to have made that memorial go away. What if it was Savannah? It's got to go. I don't want people out there anymore. I don't want those YouTubers sitting across the street and streaming and watching the house and peeing and pee pop-up tents and just sitting there for 8 hours. I don't want them. And you know what? Those pictures, some people drew pictures of Nancy. Those are hideous. Those have got to go. Get those out of here. And while you're at it, put more signs up and put a chain across the driveway. I don't want anyone over there. So, is that true, Joe? Did someone put a tracker in the flowers? I have not heard that at all. And it could be the HOA. It absolutely could. But could be the family. Do you really think that someone is going to take the memorial down without talking to the family? And by the family, I mean Savannah. They're not calling Cam. Cam's Cam. They're not calling Annie. She probably has a new phone number. Let me look that up. Tracker in flowers from Nancy Guthrie Memorial. Okay, I'm not going to spend time looking for this because it'll take me forever. I was trying to find
Daisha wanted me to come on and a member of her family.
Okay, let me change the screen here. So I just found a short with Kathy Lee Gifford, what I was mentioning before. While I'm sharing my screen, again, if you have not subscribed, please do. It would be amazeballs. All right, so let me play this.
Daisha wanted me to come on and a member of her family basically called me and other people that were at least colleagues with her or friends and said, please avoid any media talk right now. I called everybody back and said, I can't. I've been specifically asked from the family not to.
So somebody told her.
Daisha wanted me to come on and a member of her family basically called me and other people that were at least colleagues with her or friends and said, please avoid any media talk right now. I called everybody back and said, I can't. I've been specifically asked from the family not to.
So apparently what she's saying is that she was going to go on the Today Show and immediately I wonder why people are having sound issues. I'm seeing a few people with sound issues. Okay, a lot of people are saying that they can hear me. Okay. Yeah, Kathy Lee Gifford. She's, and she's a goat. So, yeah, she's saying that a family member called her and said, do not talk to the media before or after coming on the Today Show, knowing that people were going to immediately flock to her. Why? I mean, I can understand why they may not want you talking because of the case, okay? But what's the deal? What's the secret? What is the secret? So, let me get my notes. So again, with the memorial, with the moving houses, we don't know what type of personality she really is. And we don't have to. Everybody has a right to be whatever. But again, I don't think that you get to the main desk on the Today Show without being tough and maybe a bit cutthroat. Good on her. We assume that she's all sweet and everything, but I mean, Monk's reminded me, she's an attorney. She was on court TV. There's no doubt that, I mean, you have to have some cojones in order to get that far, right? And she's been dealing with that level of lifestyle for so long. Thank you, Lori Smith, so much. Thank you so much. She's been dealing with that type of lifestyle for so long that when I say, you know, not wanting to mix with unwashed masses, I mean, that really could be. And, you know, like I said, going back to the awkward walk down the driveway to the memorial, she could have really taken that opportunity instead of it being awkward and weird to have thanked people, whether she wanted people out searching. I mean, just have a genuine moment, a genuine moment. And, you know, it feels like a lot of this is, oh, we're just getting jewels. I love it. Bling, bling. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm so humbled whenever I see those. Thank you so much. I feel like, again, her husband being in PR. Oh my gosh, everyone's throwing. Thank you. Thank you so much for the jewels, you guys. With her husband being in PR, I feel like, again, most of the focus, and this tells me what kind of conversations are going on when they're having their strategery meetings. And I feel like it's really just, I get the feeling of self-serving. And this goes back to my feeling about when all three siblings were sitting that first video together at Annie's house, and Annie takes the opportunity to read her weird, creepy poetry. Okay. It feels self-serving. It's like, how can I make this about me? How can I make this about me? What if they're all like that? You know, maybe that's just how it is. Maybe that's just real. And maybe there is competition. You know, if you we don't know. And the resentment maybe is well founded if Annie has had resentment and there were hard feelings between them. Monks mentioned that he had a viewer who knew the nanny of Cam's kids, and Nancy was visiting, and Nancy was sad because there was a rift between the sisters. Maybe it was well deserved. And, you know, if you've got someone who can be kind of nasty and kind of a fake, and again, going back to doing all the work with taking care of the mother, and everyone thinks she's so wonderful. How long? Maybe she hadn't talked to her mom in months. What if she's, you know, just Miss Goody Two Shoes and she really isn't Goody Two Shoes? And you get pissed. And it's like, okay, what's really going to hurt? What's really going to hurt? Thank you, Didamy, that. What's really going to hurt Savannah? If I really want to hurt her, ooh, she'd hate this. And now you've got all those weird YouTubers, those people that don't even have real jobs, and they're out there and they're videoing in front of mom's house. Oh, she'd hate that. She'd really hate that. And then, you know, part of the PR is, how do we get rid of these people? Well, let's just tell them that they're pieces of shit. If you're following her story for entertainment or for profit, guess what? What's good for me is not good for thee. I can run a racket however I need to, but you guys are crap. How do we know that she didn't ask the sheriff to arrest Damien and Alex? We don't know who called. We have no idea who called. We think maybe it was the neighbor or the person in front of the house, and it could have been the person in front of the house. Again, I'm just speculating. I'm going down a thread. I mean, we're assuming a lot of things. Is it okay to assume that she's nice and that her air kisses are genuine? But we can't assume that maybe she's got a temper. I think that's fair. I don't blame her. I probably wouldn't want people out there videotaping my mom's house after she went missing either. But you know what? You also can just come out and say in a friendly way and just say, I appreciate everyone's interest and I really appreciate. No, so I think Juanita, I'm going to pull this up and you guys correct me. Alex was arrested twice. Damien A57 was arrested once and Juanita got a ticket. Can you guys correct that? Because that is from what I understand. Thank you, Julie Camarena. And I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm sorry. Yay, Jen's here. Hey, Jen. No, you're fine, Jen. No, you're fine. You're not late. You're right on time. Damien was cited. Okay, thank you. DeJuice was arrested. Okay, thank you guys. He was cited. I thought, for some reason, I thought he was arrested. That's why I asked. Okay. All right. So again, we don't know. We can assume the neighbor is the one who asked for the memorial to be taken down. We can assume the neighbor is the one who had Alex arrested and Damien and Juanita cited, so that I'm accurate. But I feel like the post is them trying to really just fix the narrative. I don't think, and I'll pull it up while I'm talking because no one wants to just look at me flapping my yappers. I feel like the post is like almost doing three things. It's, of course, memorializing her beautiful mother. It's defending Annie and Tommy, because we have to do that. We have to come out and we have to defend them. We have to put on a face. We have to put on a front. We're unified. But then we also have to put down the people who are talking about this case. And we're asking for help, but we want selective help, and we want selective people talking about it. And we certainly only want to select the people who can profit off of this. Legacy media, you guys are good. Go ahead and profit off of it, especially NBC with my exclusive interview with Hoda. Hoda Kotb. But we're very selective. And again, with her husband being in PR, this tells me that their main concern is with how it looks. There's really nothing. I mean, of course, beseeching and asking for help, but this is more about how it looks. And so it makes me wonder if the family didn't take the memorial down to get people to stop coming in front of the house. And then it makes me also wonder if they aren't the ones who called the sheriff's department. Because if you recall, when law enforcement went to at least Alex, DeJuice, I think someone the first time even said, look, I don't even want to do this, but I have to. I've been ordered to do this. That feels like it's definitely coming from the higher ups. Now, before now, has Nanos ever complained about the YouTubers? I know that they, didn't want people parking and they put all the signs around the neighborhood. But I don't recall, and someone correct me, I honestly don't recall Nanos ever complaining about the YouTubers. And it seemed like when law enforcement showed up, it seemed like it was like just like a WWE slam down. Hold on one second. I have a kid. Hold on. Test, test, test. Oh, okay. If you can do that, thank you. Test, test, test. Let's see if that helps. Is this better now? No sound. Test, test, test. Okay. Okay. Sorry. And if you guys don't know, I do have my little grandson. He lives with me. He is special needs, and sometimes he gets fussy and he wants cereal. So I don't know why it's lower than normal. I have everything up. I don't get it. Okay. So anyway, okay. So I'm done kicking that horse. I'm just questioning again, what is real, what we think is happening. It may be opposite day. Okay. So I know that there have been some things going on, and let's see, we've got, of course, searched again because of the monsoon, which is good to hear. And even JLR, who I don't really follow, but even JLR is like, is it possible that law enforcement isn't convinced that she even left the neighborhood? And that's possible. It's very possible. We don't know. Let me share my screen. We're going to look at a few things now. Boop. Share screen. Okay. Apparently I'm having technical difficulties. Now my screen doesn't want to share. Okay, well, we're just going to go with it, guys, because this is what happens. We're going to have a tech issue. We're going to have a tech issue. It's okay. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is also, and I know he's not our favorite, but last night I was talking about inconsistencies. And with Sheriff Nanos, what would make him literally on, say, a Thursday be asked about Nancy and respond specifically, and I'm paraphrasing, specifically respond, I don't have a body, I don't have a note, I don't have anything on Nancy. And then literally the next day put out the ransom notes. Okay. what that just sounds crazy to me. That sounds just nutty. That sounds nutty. I don't understand what is going to do that. So, let me try sharing my screen again. I have an unhappy kid, so we might not go as long as I wanted to. Nothing is sharing tonight. So there you go. I'm just going to go with it. So what I wanted to share is just pulling up about narcissists. So let me read to you. I will just read. Okay. So narcissists will commonly say one thing and later say the opposite. The behavior arises from several predictable interpersonal dynamics and motives. Why it happens. Image control. Narcissists tailor statements to whatever preserves or enhances their image in the moment. If circumstances change, their narrative changes accordingly. Emotional manipulation. Contradictory statements confuse and destabilize others, increasing dependence and giving the narcissist leverage. So it's about control. Avoidance of responsibility, which we know he has. Reversing statements creates plausible deniability and shifts blame when confronted with consequences. Impression management and gaslighting. Rewriting events or promises lets them deny commitments and makes others doubt their memory or judgment. So it's like pretty soon you think you're crazy. Impulsivity and grandiosity. Overconfident promises or boasts made in the moment can later be contradicted when sustaining them becomes inconvenient or impossible. I have a kid freaking out in the other room. I'm not sure it's being picked up, but so yeah, narcissists. And it's a bummer because I had so many other things to share and it's not pulling up. And you know, there are a lot of people who are narcissists, absolutely. And I don't get political, first of all. So, you know, we're just talking about the case, and so I typically will stay away from politics. So, you know, uh, awesome. Well, I think since I can't share my screen, I think I will just save the other things I was going to talk about for probably this weekend, is what I think we'll do. I am so excited tomorrow night to have Jen and Glenn on. And actually, let me give away my 5 free memberships because I love giving stuff away. I just really do. Let me turn this off. All right, so you guys ready for me to give away 5 free memberships? Woo! Here we go. We're gonna do 5. All right, everyone, let's see who wins. Here they go now. Do do do. Who's gonna win? D. Let's have some winners. Who's gonna win? Ba 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 bam. Are they gonna go? Maybe I'm having trouble with my show. Here we go. All right, we got Inner Strength, Lori Smith, Julie, Camarena, Skinny Chicken, and Coop. Oh, yay! Look at you guys. We have some winners. We have some winners. Yeehaw! All right. Fun. Excellent. All right. Well, Jen, thanks so much for coming by. I'm so excited to have you guys on tomorrow. I'm going to just ask some easy questions. We're going to talk about Nancy, find out a little bit more about you guys. And I hope everybody can join us here tomorrow at 5:30 Central. And you're welcome. I'm so happy. Well, I'm honored. Thornbridge X Unfiltered Jen. I am honored. I'm so happy to be able to collaborate. And I hope that to have you on many, many times in the future. All right. So we will see you guys tomorrow night. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And guess what? I will catch you on the flip side. and toodaloo. Toodaloo.